Stories of Heist and the Hope of Rondu. News of the collapse and defeat of the Cunning Hyenas, once the mightiest gang in the underworld, had reached Heist. The fall of this powerful faction had sent shockwaves through the criminal world, striking fear into the hearts of those who still stood. The mighty guerrillas were the last remaining gang that had not yet been targeted by the 10 great assassins. It was only a matter of time before they too would face the relentless onslaught. Heist sat in his dimly lit office, the weight of the news heavy on his shoulders. He knew that the 10 great assassins, led by the fearsome Silverback, would not stop until they had eradicated every rival gang. The mighty gorilla, his gang, was now the only obstacle left. Heist's mind raced with anxiety and fear. He had witnessed the ruthlessness and efficiency of the 10 great assassins, and the thought of their impending attack made his blood run cold. The memories of past victories and the strength of his gang seemed distant and faint in the face of the imminent threat. Heist knew that the defenses they had in place, though formidable, might not be enough to withstand the full force of the 10 great assassins. His thoughts turned to the many loyal members who had stood by him through thick and thin. He couldn't bear the thought of losing them to the merciless assassins. Heist's mind wandered to the recent fate of the Cunning Hyena. They had been decimated despite their intricate defenses and cunning strategies. The stories of Silverback's overwhelming strength and the assassins' unmatched skills haunted him. Each tale of their brutal efficiency only deepened his despair. He envisioned the mighty gorilla's headquarters falling, just like the others, and his heart sank further. But in the depths of his worry, a glimmer of hope flickered. Heist thought of Rondu, his most trusted ally and perhaps the only one capable of turning the tide. Rondu was not just a warrior, he was a legend in his own right. His strength was unparalleled, his combat skills honed to perfection. In Rondu, Heist saw their last hope, a beacon of strength in these dark times. Rondu's presence had always been a source of comfort and confidence for Heist. The thought of Rondu brought a sense of relief to Heist's troubled mind. If anyone could stand against the 10 great assassins, it was Rondu. Heist rose from his chair and walked over to the window, looking out at the cityscape bathed in the eerie glow of streetlights. The city was a dangerous place, full of treachery and deceit, but it was also a place where legends were made. Heist knew that the upcoming battle would be their greatest challenge yet, but with Rondu by their side, they had a fighting chance. He thought back to Rondu's past exploits. Rondu had single-handedly taken down some of the most feared opponents in the underworld. As Heist contemplated their defense, he felt a renewed sense of determination. He knew that he couldn't afford to let fear paralyze him. The 10 great assassins were relentless, but they were not invincible. Heist had to believe in his men, and their resilience and their will to fight. Most importantly, he had to believe in Rondu. Heist began to formulate a plan, taking into account all that he had learned from the previous attacks on the Cunning Hyenas and other gangs. He knew that their defense had to be stronger, their strategy more cunning. The mighty gorillas would not go down without a fight. With Rondu's help, they would make their stand and show the 10 great assassins that they were not to be underestimated. The worry in Heist's heart began to ease as he thought more about Rondu's capabilities. He imagined Rondu standing tall, his immense figure ready to face the oncoming storm. Rondu's strength and indomitable spirit were exactly what they needed to withstand the assault. As dawn approached, Heist felt a sense of calm wash over him. The fear was still there, lurking in the corners of his mind, but it was tempered by the knowledge that they had a chance. With Rondu's help, they could hold their ground. The mighty gorilla was not finished yet. They would stand tall, fight with everything they had, and show the 10 great assassins that they were a force to be reckoned with. Heist turned away from the window, his resolve firm. He had a plan to put into motion, men to prepare, and a fortress to defend. The battle ahead would be fierce, but with Rondu leading the charge, Heist felt a glimmer of hope. They would fight for their survival, for their honor, and for the legacy of the mighty gorilla. The 10 great assassins would find that their next target was not so easily conquered. The emergence of the gentle persona. Rondu's journey toward the restoration of his memory had been progressing rapidly. Fleeting images of his mother, Durica, his master, Tammy, and his two beloved siblings, Fura and Tatus, drifted into his mind with a sense of tranquility, though he couldn't quite grasp their true identities. Rondu found himself experiencing strange dreams filled with battles against gangs, crumbling fortresses, scattered corpses, and the horrifying screams of the wounded. These images, however, remained faint and elusive in his consciousness. Unbeknownst to Rondu, his mind was giving rise to a new persona. This persona was unlike his aggressive and combative nature. It was gentle, peaceful, and somewhat illusory. This new persona coexisted with Rondu's primary and secondary personalities, acting as a bridge between the two. It tempered the aggression of his secondary personality, encouraging introspection about his identity and the deeper questions of life. This gentle persona had facilitated the vivid yet enigmatic images Rondu saw in his dreams, representing a significant step in his journey toward overcoming his dissociative identity disorder. The gentle persona, a beacon of calm and wisdom, began to manifest more prominently within Rondu's psyche. Unlike his dominant and assertive selves, this persona was characterized by a deep sense of empathy and contemplation. It was not a fully independent identity, but rather an amalgamation of Rondu's inherent gentleness and the peaceful qualities he had suppressed over the years. This persona's primary function was to mediate between Rondu's conflicting identities, providing a sense of harmony and balance that had long been absent from his life. One night, as Rondu lay in a fitful sleep, the gentle persona emerged more vividly than ever. In his dreams, he walked through the remnants of a battlefield, the once chaotic and violent scene now bathed in an ethereal light. The gentle persona guided him, offering insights and reflections on the scenes before him. These battles, this destruction, the gentle persona whispered, they are part of your past, but they do not define you. Look beyond the chaos, and you will see the love and connections that have shaped your true self. As Rondu wandered through his dreamscape, he encountered images of his mother, Durica, her face filled with warmth and love. The gentle persona conveyed the profound bond they shared, reminding Rondu of the nurturing presence that had been a cornerstone of his early life. Though the memories were still fragmented, the emotional resonance was clear and undeniable. The dream shifted, and Rondu found himself standing before Tammy, his master, whose teachings had instilled in him both strength and wisdom. The gentle persona emphasized the importance of Tammy's guidance, not just in combat, but in understanding the deeper principles of honor and integrity. Tammy's lessons had always been about more than just fighting. They were about cultivating a sense of purpose and moral clarity. Next, the vision of his siblings, Fura and Tatus, appeared. The gentle persona highlighted the innocence and joy they brought into Rondu's life, their presence a reminder of the pure and untainted love that still existed within him. These memories, though hazy, began to coalesce into a tapestry of familial bonds and cherished moments. Awakening from the dream, Rondu felt a newfound sense of peace and clarity. The gentle persona's influence had opened a door within his mind, allowing him to reconcile the conflicting aspects of his identity. He understood that his aggressive tendencies were a defense mechanism born out of necessity in a world of violence and survival. However, the gentle persona reminded him that there was more to his existence than the perpetual cycle of conflict. Throughout the day, the gentle persona continued to guide Rondu, urging him to embrace moments of stillness and reflection. When faced with aggressive impulses, the persona's calming presence would surface, encouraging Rondu to pause and consider his actions more thoughtfully. This newfound balance began to manifest in his interactions with others, as he demonstrated a greater capacity for empathy and understanding. The gentle persona also played a crucial role in helping Rondu make sense of his dissociative identity disorder. It provided a safe space for him to explore his memories and emotions without the fear of being overwhelmed by them. This allowed Rondu to gradually integrate the fragmented pieces of his past, fostering a sense of coherence and self-awareness that had long eluded him. One evening, as Rondu sat in quiet contemplation, the gentle persona communicated a profound insight. You are not defined by the violence of your past, but by the strength of your spirit and the depth of your compassion. Embrace all parts of yourself, and you will find the path to true healing. This revelation marked a turning point in Rondu's journey. He began to see his dual identities not as a curse, but as a unique aspect of his being that could be harmonized and integrated. The gentle persona's influence helped him navigate the complexities of his condition, offering a sense of hope and purpose that had been missing for so long. As Rondu continued to embrace the gentle persona's guidance, he found himself reflecting on the broader implications of his journey. He began to question the cycle of violence that had defined his existence and sought ways to break free from it. The gentle persona encouraged him to envision a future where strength and compassion could coexist, where he could use his abilities to protect and nurture rather than destroy. As Rondu continued to grow and evolve, the gentle persona remained a constant presence, guiding him toward greater self-awareness and inner peace. It reminded him that his journey was not just about overcoming external enemies, but about conquering the internal battles that had shaped his life. Through this process, Rondu discovered that true strength lay not in the dominance of one identity over another, but in the harmonious integration of all aspects of himself. The gentle persona's emergence marked a significant milestone in Rondu's journey toward healing and self-discovery. It provided him with the tools and insights needed to navigate the complexities of his condition, offering a path toward greater harmony and wholeness. As Rondu embraced this new aspect of his being, he found the strength to confront his past, embrace his present, and shape his future with purpose and clarity. The unsettling similarities. As Rondu stood in Heist's office, the weight of his father-in-law's request hung heavily in the air. The room was filled with a tense anticipation, a silence punctuated only by the scratching of Heist's pen against paper. Heist had just entrusted Rondu with the critical task of defending the mighty gorilla against the looming threat of Silverback and the 10 great assassins. Heist's words echoed in Rondu's mind. No defense system, no matter how sophisticated, has withstood Eagle's assault. Sometimes, having no defense system at all can be our greatest advantage, as long as you are here. Rondu nodded, absorbing the gravity of the situation. He knew that his unparalleled strength, formidable internal power, and exceptional martial arts skills were Heist's primary hope against the impending attack. Yet, as he considered Heist's words, a sense of unease began to creep into his thoughts. Silverback, Rondu repeated the name silently to himself. He had heard tales of Silverback's ruthless efficiency, his unparalleled combat skills, and the aura of invincibility that surrounded him. But there was something more, something deeper that stirred within Rondu whenever he thought of Silverback. It was a sense of familiarity that he couldn't quite place, a connection that felt almost tangible yet remained elusive. The gentle persona within Rondu, the peaceful and contemplative aspect of his psyche, began to whisper to him. Silverback, there's something about him that you recognize. Something that feels like a part of you. Rondu frowned, trying to grasp at the fleeting images and feelings that surfaced in his mind. He saw flashes of battles, crumbling fortresses, and the haunting cries of the wounded. These visions were always hazy, like memories seen through a fogged window. They were both familiar and alien, leaving him with a sense of unease and curiosity. Father, Rondu began cautiously, I know of Silverback and the 10 great assassins. I've heard many stories about them. But there's something about Silverback, he feels strangely familiar to me. I can't explain it clearly, but it's as if I've encountered him before. Heist looked up from his writing, his eyes narrowing slightly. No one has ever seen his face. He always wears a black mask when he operates. But if you sense a connection, it could be worth exploring. Silverback is a formidable opponent, and any insight you have might be crucial. Rondu nodded, the sense of unease growing stronger. The gentle persona continued to whisper, piecing together fragments of memories and feelings. Think about it, Rondu. Why do you feel this connection? What is it about Silverback that resonates with you? As he pondered these questions, Rondu's thoughts drifted back to his earlier life. He remembered moments of kindness and strength from his mother, Durika, and the rigorous training under his master, Tammy. He recalled the playful innocence of his siblings, Fura and Tatus. These memories were like anchors, grounding him in a past that felt both distant and near. The gentle persona spoke again, its voice soothing yet insistent. Silverback's movements, his combat style, don't they remind you of someone? Someone from your past? Rondu's mind raced, trying to make sense of the disjointed images and feelings. The way Silverback fought, his agility, his power, it all seemed so familiar, yet he couldn't pinpoint why. It was as if a veil covered his memories, obscuring the truth just out of reach. Then there was Heiss. As Rondu watched his father-in-law scribble notes and plans, he felt another pang of familiarity. Heiss' mannerisms, his strategic thinking, the way he carried himself, it reminded Rondu of someone, but who? Heiss, too, the gentle persona whispered. There's something about him that strikes a chord within you. Someone you know, someone you remember, but it's all fragmented. Rondu felt a chill run down his spine. The gentle persona's insights were unsettling yet undeniable. He knew that these connections, these feelings of familiarity, were not mere coincidences. There was a deeper truth waiting to be uncovered, a truth that could change everything. Eagle's method for building peace from chaos. At the headquarters of the 10 Great Assassins, Eagle had called for an urgent meeting with all the members present. As they gathered around, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. This was the final phase of their plan, and everyone knew the stakes were high. Eagle began the meeting with a calm but authoritative voice. Today, Eagle began, his eyes sweeping across the room, we need to discuss our strategy for attacking the headquarters of the mighty guerrilla gang. This is the last stronghold we need to conquer. Once we have defeated them, the world will finally be at peace. No more bloodshed, no more gang wars. Peace will be restored. Our method of building peace from chaos is not just a goal, it's a necessary evolution for this fractured world. Eagle paused, allowing his words to sink in. He knew that his vision was unconventional and controversial, but he believed deeply in its necessity. He continued, outlining his philosophy and the strategy that had guided them so far. In this world, chaos reigns supreme. The streets are filled with violence, and the innocent suffer as collateral damage. Law and order are mere illusions, manipulated by those in power to maintain their control. We have seen firsthand how the so-called authorities are either too weak or too corrupt to bring about true change. It is up to us, the 10 Great Assassins, to create a new order from this chaos. Eagle's eyes gleamed with conviction as he spoke. Our method may seem brutal, but it is necessary. We dismantle the existing power structures, eliminating those who perpetuate violence and fear. By striking fear into the hearts of the most powerful gangs, we send a message that no one is untouchable. Through our actions, we force the world to confront the reality of its own corruption and decay. He continued, we have seen the flaws in traditional methods of establishing peace. Negotiations and entreaties are temporary solutions at best, easily broken by those who seek to gain from chaos. True peace can only be achieved by eliminating the root causes of violence and ensuring that those who wield power do so with a sense of responsibility and accountability. Eagle looked at each member of the 10 Great Assassins, their faces reflecting a mix of determination and contemplation. By removing the leaders of the most dangerous gangs, we are not just creating a power vacuum, we are paving the way for a new era of leadership. One that is built on the ashes of the old, but with a foundation of strength and justice. Our actions force the surviving elements to reconsider their paths, to recognize that continued violence will lead only to their own destruction. He raised his hand, emphasizing his point. After we dismantle the mighty guerrilla gang, the last significant threat, we will have demonstrated the futility of resistance. The remaining gangs will have two choices, to follow our path of enforced peace or to face annihilation. This fear will ensure compliance, and compliance will ensure peace. Eagle's voice softened, but his intensity remained. It may sound paradoxical, but sometimes peace can only be achieved through the harshest means. By confronting violence with superior violence, we break the cycle. We become the guardians of a new order, an order where peace is maintained not through oppression, but through the knowledge that any attempt to disrupt it will be met with overwhelming force. He concluded, our method of building peace from chaos requires sacrifice and unwavering commitment. It demands that we bear the burden of our actions, knowing that the end justifies the means. But once the world sees the peace we create, they will understand. Our legacy will not be one of destruction, but of the rebirth of a just and peaceful society. The room fell silent as Eagle finished speaking. The members of the 10 great assassins absorbed his words, understanding the gravity of their mission. They knew that the path ahead would be treacherous, but they also believed in Eagle's vision. With their resolve strengthened, they prepared for the final battle that would bring about the peace Eagle envisioned. In the days that followed, the 10 great assassins honed their skills and readied their minds for the assault on the mighty guerrilla gang. Each member knew their role, each action a critical part of the grand design. As they moved closer to their final target, the words of Eagle echoed in their minds. Building peace from chaos was their mission, and they would see it through to the end. The daylight assault. Eagle continued, his tone resolute and unwavering. There is a slight change in our strategy for this attack. We will strike the mighty guerrilla during the day, not under the cover of night as we usually do. The members of the 10 great assassins exchanged puzzled glances. The darkness had always been their ally, providing the cover they needed to execute their plans with stealth and precision. Sensing their confusion, Eagle elaborated, "This is our final battle. We will show them that we no longer need to hide. We will launch a frontal assault on the heart of the mighty guerrilla gang without fear." The room fell silent as Eagle's words sank in. The decision to attack during the day was unconventional, but it was also a bold statement. He continued to explain the rationale behind this surprising shift in tactics. Attacking at night has always given us the element of surprise. It has allowed us to strike swiftly and disappear into the shadows. But this time, we need to send a different message. We are not just another gang. We are the enforcers of a new order. By attacking in broad daylight, we demonstrate our power and fearlessness. We show the world that we are not afraid of confrontation and that our dominance is absolute. Eagle's eyes gleamed with conviction as he spoke. The mighty guerrilla gang expects us to strike under the cover of darkness, just as we always have. They will be prepared for an ambush, expecting shadows to conceal our movements. But by attacking in the daylight, we catch them off guard. They will be unprepared for a direct assault, and their defenses will crumble under the weight of our unexpected aggression. He paused, letting his words resonate with the group. Daylight also symbolizes transparency. We are bringing our fight into the open, for all to see. It is a declaration that our mission is righteous and that we have nothing to hide. We are not mere assassins lurking in the shadows. We are warriors of a just cause, bringing order to a chaotic world. Eagle continued, the psychological impact of a daylight attack cannot be underestimated. It will instill fear in our enemies and respect in those who witness our strength. The mighty guerrilla will see that we are not afraid of them, and neither are we afraid of being seen. This bold move will shatter their morale and pave the way for our victory. The members of the 10 great assassins began to nod in agreement, understanding the brilliance behind Eagle's strategy. They realized that this final battle was not just about defeating their enemies, but also about cementing their legacy. He turned to Silverback and the remaining members of the 10 great assassins. You all have proven yourselves in countless battles. Your skills and bravery have brought us to this point. Now, we must push forward with the same determination and precision. Remember, our goal is not just to defeat the mighty guerrilla gang, but to establish a lasting peace. This daylight assault will be the final step in achieving that. Eagle's confidence and clarity inspired the group. They knew the risks were higher during the day, but they also understood the significance of this bold move. The attack on the mighty guerrilla would be a demonstration of their unparalleled strength and a testament to their mission to bring order to a chaotic world. As they prepared for the assault, each member of the 10 great assassins steeled themselves for the challenges ahead. They adjusted their strategies, honed their skills, and readied their minds for the daylight attack that would define their legacy. Eagle's plan was daring, but it was also a masterstroke that would solidify their place in history as the ultimate enforcers of peace through strength. The ultimate task. Eagle turned to Silverback, his expression serious and contemplative. In this mission, he said, you will not need to participate in the attack on the mighty guerrilla gang. Silverback, taken aback by this sudden change of plans, asked, "But why?" Eagle's face softened into a smile, though his eyes retained their steely determination. "I have a different task for you. A more personal mission." "Who do you want me to assassinate?" Silverback questioned, still puzzled. Eagle paused, the room growing silent as the weight of his words hung in the air. "I want you to kill Rondu. You must emerge victorious in this battle. Rondu is a formidable opponent, perhaps equal to you in strength and skill. He is the final obstacle you must overcome." Silverback furrowed his brow. "But I don't know who Rondu is. How am I supposed to find and kill him?" Eagle's smile returned, this time tinged with a hint of mystery. "Don't worry. Finding him is my specialty." The room fell silent again, and the gravity of Eagle's words settled in. Silverback knew that when Eagle gave such an order, it was not to be questioned. His leader had always been meticulous, calculating every move with precision. If Eagle had decided that Rondu was the target, there was a compelling reason behind it. Eagle continued, "Rondu is the ultimate test for you. His existence poses a significant threat to our plans. He possesses skills that rival yours, and his presence can disrupt everything we have worked for. This is not just about eliminating an enemy, it's about securing our future." Silverback nodded, understanding the weight of the task ahead. "I will do it," he said resolutely. "But tell me more about Rondu. What makes him such a significant threat?" Eagle's eyes darkened as he spoke. "Rondu is no ordinary opponent. He has a unique blend of strength, intelligence, and martial prowess. He is also deeply entrenched in the world of gangs, with connections and influence that make him a formidable adversary. His combat skills are unparalleled, and his strategic mind makes him a dangerous foe." Eagle then detailed Rondu's abilities, painting a picture of a man who was as cunning as he was powerful. He described Rondu's past, his rise through the ranks, and the respect he commanded from those around him. Rondu's reputation was that of a warrior who could not be easily defeated, and his presence alone was enough to instill fear in his enemies. "Your mission," Eagle said, "is to confront Rondu and eliminate him. This will not be easy. He is surrounded by loyal followers, and his skills are formidable. But I have faith in you. You have faced insurmountable odds before and emerged victorious. This will be no different." Silverback's mind raced as he absorbed the information. He knew that this mission would be unlike any other he had undertaken. The stakes were higher, and the opponent was more formidable than any he had faced before. But he also knew that failure was not an option. He had to succeed, for the sake of their mission and for the future Eagle envisioned. Eagle's voice broke through his thoughts. "I will provide you with the information you need to locate Rondu. Once you find him, you must engage him in combat and ensure he is no longer a threat. This is your destiny, Silverback. Embrace it." Silverback nodded, a steely resolve settling in his chest. "I understand. I will not fail you." Eagle placed a hand on Silverback's shoulder, his grip firm and reassuring. "I know you won't. You are the best warrior I have ever known. This mission will be your greatest challenge, but also your greatest triumph. Go now, and prepare yourself. The fate of our mission rests on your shoulders." As Silverback left the room, the weight of his task bore down on him. He knew that the path ahead would be fraught with danger, but he also knew that he had the skills and determination to see it through. He would find Rondu, confront him, and emerge victorious. Failure was not an option. Eagle watched Silverback go, his mind already turning to the next steps in their plan. He knew that Silverback was the only one capable of taking down Rondu, and he had every confidence in his warrior's abilities. The final battle was approaching, and Eagle knew that with Silverback on their side, they had the best chance of achieving their ultimate goal, peace through chaos. The world of gangs was on the brink of a new era, and Eagle and his assassins were at the forefront of that change. The path to peace was paved with blood, and they were prepared to walk it to the very end. Lionheart's leading. Eagle appointed Lionheart to lead the 10 great assassins on this crucial mission. The remaining 8 members of the 10 Great Assassins appeared anxious, as Silverback would not be joining them in this campaign. While Lionheart had proven leadership skills, his capabilities were far below those of Silverback. The team understood that Silverback's prowess could guide them to victory, but they also trusted Eagle's strategic judgment in assigning Silverback a different task for this mission. Lionheart stood before his comrades, sensing their unease. "I know you all have reservations," he began, his voice steady. "Silverback is an exceptional warrior, but Eagle has a plan. We have to trust in his vision." Falcon, always the most vocal, stepped forward. "It's not that we doubt you, Lionheart. But Silverback's strength and experience have always been our backbone. This mission is our final stand. We can't afford to fail." Lionheart nodded, acknowledging the concern. "I understand, Falcon. But we are the 10 Great Assassins. Each of us has proven our worth time and time again. Silverback has his own vital mission to complete. Our success here will be just as crucial." Tigerclaw, known for his strategic mind, chimed in. "Eagle's decision must have been calculated. If he believes we can do this without Silverback, then we must trust his insight. Our strength lies in our unity and our skills." Hawkeye, always pragmatic, added, "We have faced impossible odds before and emerged victorious. This will be no different. Lionheart, we stand by your leadership. Let's focus on our mission and trust that Silverback will handle his." Lionheart felt a surge of confidence from their words. "Thank you. Let's honor Silverback by giving our all in this mission. We will strike with precision and power, as we always have." With that, the team steeled themselves, ready to embark on their daylight assault. They knew the stakes were high and that failure was not an option. Each member prepared their weapons and gathered their resolve, determined to execute their roles flawlessly. Lionheart led them through the final preparations, ensuring everyone was clear on their tasks. His leadership, though different from Silverback's, was methodical and inspiring. He reminded them of their past victories, of the strength they held together. As they moved out, the sun beginning to rise, they felt the weight of their mission. The mighty guerrilla gang awaited them, and this confrontation would determine the fate of their world. Despite their initial doubts, the 10 Great Assassins trusted in Eagle's plan and in each other. The journey to the enemy's stronghold was silent but filled with a shared determination. Each step brought them closer to the battle that would test their limits. They knew Silverback was handling his mission, and that thought gave them strength. They were the 10 Great Assassins, and they would prove their might once again, with or without their strongest member. Lionheart took a deep breath as they reached the final approach. "Remember, we are the 10 Great Assassins. We are unstoppable. Let's show them why." With those words, they charged into battle, ready to bring chaos to their enemies and restore the peace Eagle envisioned. The battle begins. As the 10 Great Assassins approached the stronghold of the mighty gorilla, they were surprised by the lack of a substantial defense system. Only a few guards were actively patrolling and keeping watch. The silence of the early morning was soon to be shattered by the chaos of battle. Jackal and Falcon took the lead, their eyes sharp and their movements precise. Jackal, with his iron cards in hand, prepared to strike. Falcon, his crossbow loaded, was ready to release a volley of arrows. "Let's make this quick and clean," Jackal whispered to Falcon. "We need to clear the way for the rest." Falcon nodded, his focus unwavering. "Understood. Let's show them what we're capable of." With a swift motion, Jackal threw his iron cards. The cards sliced through the air, glinting in the early morning light. They found their targets with deadly accuracy, hitting the guards before they could raise an alarm. Falcon followed suit, his crossbow releasing arrows one after another. Each shot was precise, each arrow finding its mark. The guards of the mighty gorilla had little time to react. They fell one by one, unable to withstand the coordinated assault. The sound of their bodies hitting the ground was muffled by the quiet determination of the 10 Great Assassins. Lionheart, Panthera, Wolfbane, Hawkeye, Tiger Claw, and Scorpio moved forward, taking advantage of the confusion. Their movements were synchronized, a testament to their training and unity. "Excellent work, Jackal, Falcon," Lionheart said as they regrouped. "We've caught them off guard. Let's keep up the momentum." Panthera, with his sword drawn, took point. "Stay sharp, everyone. This might be a trap." Wolfbane, wielding his sword, added, "We move swiftly and strike hard. No mercy." Hawkeye and Tiger Claw, both with chains in hand, prepared to deal with any reinforcements. Scorpio, his staff ready, was the first to sense any danger lurking in the shadows. The team advanced, each member covering the other's back. They were a well-oiled machine, moving as one. The courtyard of the mighty gorilla's stronghold was eerily quiet now, the initial guards dealt with efficiently. Falcon scanned the area, his eyes ever vigilant. No signs of additional guards yet. "We need to get inside before they realize what's happening." Jackal nodded. "Let's go." As they approached the main entrance, they encountered a heavy wooden door, barred from the inside. Panthera stepped forward, his sword ready. "Step back. I'll handle this." With a powerful swing, Panthera's sword cleaved through the door, breaking the bar and allowing them entry. The door swung open with a creak, revealing a dimly lit hallway. "Stay alert," Lionheart instructed. "We don't know what we're walking into." The group moved silently through the hallway, their senses heightened. The further they went, the more it seemed like the mighty gorilla had underestimated the 10 great assassins. In the distance, they could hear muffled voices. Jackal and Falcon exchanged a glance, silently communicating their next move. They approached the source of the voices with caution, ready to strike. The next group of guards appeared around a corner, taken by surprise at the sight of the intruders. Jackal's iron cards flew again, and Falcon's arrows followed. The guards were overwhelmed, unable to mount a defense. "Clear," Jackal said, his voice low. "Let's keep moving." They continued deeper into the stronghold, their path marked by the bodies of the fallen. The mighty gorilla's defenses, or lack thereof, seemed almost too easy to breach. Hawkeye, always the skeptic, voiced his concern. "This doesn't feel right. Where are the rest of their forces?" Lionheart, though focused, couldn't help but agree. "Stay vigilant. They might be leading us into a trap." The team pressed on, determined to find the heart of the mighty gorilla's stronghold. Their objective was clear: neutralize the leadership and dismantle the gang from within. As they reached a large central chamber, the tension in the air was palpable. This was it, the final showdown was near. "Ready yourselves," Lionheart said, his voice steady. "We finish this now." With weapons drawn and hearts steeled, the 10 great assassins prepared to face whatever awaited them in the depths of the mighty gorilla's lair. The battle had begun, and there was no turning back. Into the blinding light. Suddenly, blinding lights erupted from powerful lamps positioned ahead, flooding the area with an intense white glare that stung the eyes of the 10 great assassins. Lionheart's voice cut through the confusion. "It's a trap. Everyone, be careful." The members of the 10 great assassins instinctively raised their arms to shield their eyes, but the powerful light rendered them nearly blind, reducing their vision to a haze of blinding white. The air around them grew tense, every sense on high alert. Then, without warning, a barrage of deadly arrows sliced through the air toward them. "Shields up!" Lionheart commanded, his voice urgent and steady. The assassins reacted with practiced precision, raising their shields just in time to block the deadly volley. The ambush. The mighty gorilla gang had planned their ambush meticulously. The blinding lights were strategically placed to disorient and incapacitate any intruders. The lights were not just bright, they were designed to flood every corner, leaving no shadow for the assassins to hide in. This was a battlefield where every advantage was turned against them. As the 10 great assassins struggled to adjust, arrows continued to rain down from hidden shooters positioned around the chamber. The arrows whistled through the air, their deadly tips glinting in the harsh light before they clanged off the raised shields. "Stay close. We need to find cover," Panthera shouted, trying to guide his comrades through the onslaught. Fighting blind. With their vision impaired, the assassins had to rely on their other senses. The sound of arrows striking their shields and the stone floor around them was a cacophony that made it difficult to pinpoint the direction of the attackers. The mighty guerrilla gang had positioned their archers at multiple vantage points, ensuring a relentless and multidirectional assault. Jackal, despite the blinding light, tried to locate the source of the attack. "We need to take out those lights. Falcon, can you shoot them out?" Falcon squinted, trying to focus. "I'll do my best." He knocked an arrow and, aiming by sound and memory rather than sight, let it fly. The arrow flew true, hitting one of the lights and plunging a section of the room into darkness. Regaining ground. Encouraged by Falcon's success, the others followed suit. Scorpio, using his staff, began knocking arrows away from the less shielded members while Jackal hurled his iron cards towards the unseen enemies, hoping to disrupt their positions. "Panthera, to your right," shouted Lionheart as he noticed a slight break in the volley of arrows from that direction. Panthera lunged forward, sword drawn, and with a powerful swing, he cut through a tangle of ropes holding up one of the lights, sending it crashing to the ground. The chamber began to darken bit by bit, but the battle was far from over. As their vision slowly returned, the 10 great assassins could make out shadowy figures moving around the periphery, archers repositioning to maintain their advantage.